channel, Everything Hobby. This is a new channel that I'm going to bring to YouTube, hopefully help you progress your angling, and you can pick up tips to help you progress. These are new channels that I'm going to bring, that I'm going to do something a bit different. I'll do a bit of chub fishing on the river as well as a bit of pike fishing, and I'll show you the rigs, tactics and tips that I use. Now that's Everything Hobby, which will majority be 95% of it will be carp related. I'll take you onto the banks, show you the way I approach things, as well as the tips, tactics that I use, and hopefully you can put that in your own angling. Anyway, this episode is going to be based on solid bags and what I believe is the ultimate PVA solid bag presentation. Before we start and I'll show you how to use my solid bags, I'll just show you the rig and lead setup that I use the majority of the time. That's just a 3 ounce inline lead attached to a Gemini stem. Superb if you're fishing heavily stocked waters and you just want to get a bag back out onto the spot. You can have 5-6 bags made up all ready to go, and what you do is you just do a loop in your main line. There's a little bit on the end that you can just put your main line through and just loop the loop on, ready to go back out on the spot after you caught a fish. So effective, so easy as that. Anyway, to the rig end, we've just got a supple 3-inch blade attached to a size 6 curve hook, little kicker, got a little rig ring for a blowback and a wafter. Just that simple. And that's attached loop to loop to a little swivel that go into the end of your lead. Right, now I'll go on and show you how to make my PVA bags. I've used numerous solid bags for the style of fishing that I want to do, and I found out the best ones to use are the ones from Korda in the small. The bags are so robust, so durable, hardly stretch, absolutely perfect for this. But anyway, I'll show you how to make my bag. I do it slightly different to a lot of people I've seen. A lot of people just stick the pellet in the bottom, they'll put their rig in, a little more pellet, lead, then they'll tie it. I do mine slightly different. I'll explain later why. How I do it is I'll just get 2 scoops of pellet, don't want a lot, just enough to cover about 1/4 of the bag, like so. And what I'll do, instead of putting my bait in first, I'll put my lead in first. But when I put my lead in, I'll put my lead onto the side of the solid bag, like so. I'll explain why I do this later. Now this can be quite fiddly. Because the lead's on the side of the bag, I'll then hold the lead into place with my finger, as well as holding the bag open with the other 2 fingers, so I can get a little more pellet in where I want it. So I'll just stick 1 more scoop of pellet in there, just so there's enough in there, keeping my finger on the lead. Right, and then what I'll do is I'll put my fingers on the lead and sit the lead on my fingers. And the first thing that I'll now do is press down on top of the bag with my thumb, and that does create a little air pocket that you then get your rig and press inside, keeping the hook flat away from your rig. And the next thing to do is tip the bag up vertical. Everything's still in place. The lead on one side, bait on the other. Get 1 more scoop of pellet, put it in the bag. And what I'll do is I'll grab the bag and I'll twist it straight away. Because you've got a stem, you can get away with it, and that'll lock everything into place. Your lead, your rig into place, and you can really work the bag. Keep twisting it Make sure it's super tight. Work the pallet. When you've done it, where I then put my PVA tape on, I'll wrap down the bag. By wrapping down towards the bag, make the bag even tighter than what it already is. So I'll wrap it once down, then I'll go down towards it. So I'll be 2, 3, 4. Pull it off. And then I'll just make 2 overhand loop knots. That's 1. 2. So there it is. Obviously, making sure that your bag is shaped, all the pellet is nicely compact into the bag, like so. What I'll do is I'll then snip off the access. Like I say, by doing the bag this way, the presentation you know is going to be spot on, and you know that it's going to be presented perfectly. I mean, when I've made solid bags up the other way, a lot of the time, I'm always a little bit paranoid by, oh, it's the bait presented. But by doing it this way, you know it's always going to be presented. Anyway, so now we'll work the corners, and because on these bags are so tough, on a lot of people I just see them lick the bag and just fold the corners over. But because these bags are so robust, you can really get away with really pushing in the pallet and working the corners. And I'll lick it and I'll really pull it over tight, really tight. It's not going to split the bag. Hold it into place. Work the other corner. I've even seen some people make bags and not even fold the corners at all. Maybe okay if you're just margin fishing, you just want to plop it into the edge, but when you're fishing a distance, you really want it compacted as tight as possible. And pull that over really tight. And there you go. There you go. You've got your lead one side, bait the other side. So the reason for having the lead one side in the bag is every time you cast this in, the lead is going to lay face up and your bait will be presented on top. So no matter what, you know you've got perfect presentation. Now when you pass this bag, the most important part is where you pass it. So I'll get the scissors and I'll pass it underneath the wafter, like so, and just get it and just twist it to make a hole. So when I sat there, you know it's presented, the bag will melt, bait sitting on the top, ready for a take. So there it is. The lead one side, bait the other side, the perfect solid bag presentation. And also, the other presentation that I do is exactly the same, but just on a different setup. So I'll have a 3-ounce inline lead again, this time as a cord attached to a quarter stem that you just put over the lead core. So that's ideal when I'm fishing waters that aren't heavily stocked. I just want to put a bag onto a spot just to get a bite really. And there you go, that's perfect for that. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. This is the first video that I've done. I'll go through it and see how it is. Hopefully the next videos I do will progress and get better and better. But any likes and comments are welcome. If you can share it, be more than grateful. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.